Hi, everybody. This is Alex Kolar and
David Beckles Jr.
Welcome to the what?
Velvet Sugar Podcast.
Episode number
10.
Woo! Take it easy. Too much excitement. Relax. Too excited. We have a guest today. We picked up a drifter on the street, a MAGA drifter, and he was just met us in the parking lot, and we couldn't stop talking, so we're like, we're going to invite him on the show. No, he's not. This is our good guest, good friend, producer extraordinaire.
Comedian.
I don't know what we're allowed to say.
Tim Deery.
Tim Deery, yeah.
All right, circus act, clown, that works as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was an American immigrant podcast, so I wore my American hat for it, and now you guys changed the
Very
dang name of the
patriotic.
show.
Yeah.
Very patriotic,
So-
Tim.
Nice.
It's all good. Velvet Sugar,
Velvet
that's
Sugar.
the name.
Yeah.
Who's the velvet? Who's the sugar?
I'm the velvet, he's the sugar.
I'm the sugar.
Okay, I don't know. I mean,
Both are nice.
Yeah.
One is soft and one is sweet.
all right. But do you guys change it up every once in a while?
No.
Okay.
Sugar.
Do you know
soft,
why?
soft.
Do you know why?
You know
it's
what we call
Velvet
it, the
Sugar?
Velvet Sugar Podcast?
We'll go back to the
Well-
episode and watch and do your damn homework.
All right, we'll go back to another episode. We like to give teasers in this so that people watch.
Oh, it's good you got guests on now, so I'm gonna get some more.
But ladies and gentlemen, welcome our good buddy, Tim Deery.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Tim, tell us where you host your open mic. Tell us about your hosting. Go
Tim
ahead.
is a
Yes.
producer of comedy shows and where?
That's correct. So I'm about to do my 15th showcase, hosting that for the Dobbs Ferry Public Library. Yes, libraries can be pretty fun. And we have a nice community room there and set it up really nice. It plays very well for a comedy show, got the spotlight and everything. And during some of the summer months, I also do it at the Dobbs Ferry Waterfront Park, as well as I build those showcases through the open mics that I host. One is virtual. I do that once a month. Yeah, I still do the virtual thing.
So that's what the first Tuesday of the month, right? Okay.
Yeah, first Tuesday of the month is the virtual one, and it's still carryover from COVID, but I've gotten people that have come and headlined my shows from Chicago, Toronto. I've had people from Philadelphia, so it's, bridge the gap in a lot of ways, having that virtual show.
What percentage of your comics on the virtual show are out of town or out of the city or state?
Oh,
Most of them?
Most of them, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This note. Alex and I have done his showcases a couple of times. I think twice. He did it like 3 times, right?
No, I think twice, and then we did the
Santa Claus.
No, we did that, but I think you did it before.
No, I did it once.
You headlined once, right?
Headlined
I
and
headlined
featured
once,
once.
and then we were on the show
The
that
July
night.
showcase last
And
year.
I heard it's still the best show. To do.
It's a really good show.
That was a personal favorite of
Tim,
mine.
if you're watching this, you got to come check out. We'll promote it at the end of the show. If you're lucky and you behave, and then it's one of the best shows.
It really is.
It fits 80 people. You said 75.
Yes.
And it almost always fills up.
And it's free.
So
It's free.
It's free, but you got to reserve your tickets through the website we're going to show you at the end. Maybe
Yep.
Terrence could put it here where I point. I don't know if he doesn't want at the end, whatever. And you got to reserve the free tickets, otherwise it fills up. There's only so much space. So hilarious show.
Yeah, good show.
It's
good
great.
show. Great environment.
We always talk about how it's one of the best crowds.
It is. People
It's
come
not
ready to
paying,
laugh.
and somehow you make more money than some paying shows.
Here we go.
Isn't that amazing? Like it's a non-paying show. He doesn't pay because it's public access, right? It's library.
That's the beauty of it.
But are you allowed to talk about the tips?
He's like an Eastern
yeah, you
European
tip bucket
pit
out.
bull. He's not letting
and
it
we
go.
still make more money than a certain show where we sold out and made nothing. We'll talk about that in the parking lot later, Tim. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So, comedy's notorious for getting booked on a show. It looks like they made money. They're like, we can't pay you.
Wow.
That's why I like to promise nothing up front, and then I give you a little surprise at the end if we get
Exactly.
some donations from the...
Under promise and over exactly, except versus the opposite.
yeah.
Okay, so now that's the virtual one. What about the regular? It's the second Tuesday of the month.
Yeah, second
That's
Tuesday
an
of the
awesome. So if you want to see me and Dave do some open mic, and we always come to that one. That's next
trails
Tuesday.
and stuff.
If you're watching this, you probably missed it because you come to the next one in July.
Well, it all depends
July.
on when Terrence. If Terrence finishes it if he was to somehow finish it this week.
Get on that,
Wow,
Terrence.
Terrence.
I'll get it up by Tuesday.
Wow, this guy's already putting
Pressure.
timetable
Pressure.
signing. All right.
But I'm behind. I was a little sick last week, so I'm behind now. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But yeah. Also, Tim is a comedian as well. He hosts a show as well as produce, and it fosters an environment, especially here in the Hudson Valley, to be very supportive room. We feel like family going. Well, I feel
Yeah.
like step family because I'm the only black person. No, I'm kidding. No, but it feels
Not
like
true.
feels like family. I know. Feels like family though. It's
Kinda
good. It's good.
No, it's a great mic. And
Very good mic. Very
That's
good mic.
how long have you been doing the mic now? The open mic.
The
How long you
open
hosting?
mics I started in 2019, and so yeah, I hosted at Davino's Speakeasy in Hastings, and we've been getting a good crowd, usually about 15 or so comics, which is right in the sweet spot. If everyone's getting 5 minutes, I'll get you around an hour and a half. Right after that, I'm kind of done. You know,
And it's a great environment because
It's also free too. As well.
I know they're
when
free.
people are doing it's a total like we let the comedians say whatever they want. The
yeah.
host never comes up and like silences the comedian. Oh God, Tim, you don't know how I am, dude. I like to poke the hornet's nest. The comedian will never grab a mic, for instance. Just an example of something
this
that
is
didn't
not
happen.
something I particularly ever
No, we let the comedians talk.
I think when
If
that
there
happened,
happens
I
to
wasn't
be
there,
a
though.
lesbian couple in the crowd and you're talking to them, make jokes and they're laughing. We don't go up and silence anybody. No, too much?
While putting on lipstick. I add that while putting on lipstick.
I like to
Okay.
look at it as like Field of Dreams, man, because
Yeah.
I got sick of like running to everybody else. So I'm like, if you build it, they'll come. So I don't want to
Very
have
true.
to leave Dobbs Ferry, man.
Oh, I got you.
come to
Gotcha.
me,
Gotcha.
and
Nice.
then I can still perform. That's the
No,
way I
but
like to look at it.
Tim's a great guy to know as well. A good guy. And once you come to the mic consistently, you're good. You put you on the show and an opportunity to showcase your stuff, your talent.
So tell us
man.
about the people you got on the next show. New
yeah.
comics, seasoned comics.
Yep.
A mixture? Like,
yeah,
tell
it's
us.
it's like I don't have any like younger. It's more of an older crowd a little bit because I kind of want. And the July one, I'm going to go for a little bit of a younger mix. I just thought maybe that would be a good way to go about this. I like to do something unique with each one.
You're an old school host, you know that?
Thank you.
You're an old school promoter because you give everybody a chance versus just like repeating the same like 5-6 people
Right,
that you
right.
like more, you know?
I tend
you don't
to
play
like-
favorites, you just kind of give everybody an opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely don't like playing favorites. It's cool to have. I've been liking having like one person I had on from a previous show back, and like maybe one or two. But I always like to give some people a chance. I mean, number one, name of the game, right? You want to have a funny show. All right. So the headliner, you got to have somebody that you know.
How
is
come
funny.
I'm not on the show, Tim?
You
Just
already
kidding.
had a headline spot. You went to the back of the line, man. So that's how it
I'm
goes.
kidding,
And
I'm
you're
kidding,
working
kidding.
your way
I'm
back
glad
up.
you give- I'm messing
Having me
around.
on their show might help a little bit. If other people want to put me on their shows, that might,
man.
grease the,
But that's how comics are. We want to get on every show.
Sounds familiar though. You want to put me on the show? Sounds familiar. Sounds very familiar. Who says that? Can't remember.
Uh-oh. There's a lot of inside jokes.
Yeah, there's some inside jokes.
I'm
It's-
not gonna let Alex just take all the slings and the digs.
yeah.
I got my bag too, like in dig.
Dude, comedy's hard because there's only so many shows. There's hundreds of comedians. You're not really battling for the same spots, but it's hard. They don't.
Yeah.
But there's not enough shows for every comic, so it can be hard to book shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think also too the Westchester area, Hudson Valley area is expanding. You know what I mean? There's H&H in Connecticut and Middletown, right?
Yeah, there's a new club that opened in Middletown.
Yeah.
We
Zone?
Zone Comedy Club in Middletown, and we have any gigs we can promote? We promote our gigs at the end. What do you think, Terrence?
Yeah.
At the end or right now?
I got 3 shows. I got
Upcoming
3 shows
gigs?
this month. I got the 22nd.
All right, I'm gonna promote
I got
some
the
stuff here.
27th in Brooklyn. Alex and I on the show on the 29th in South Jersey.
I'm going to promote my shows now since we're talking
At the
about
Bada Bing.
17. No, the 11th. Will this come out for the 11th next Tuesday? No, right? Won't be out before that. Okay, I'm going to promote I'm headlining the Magnanini Winery up in Wallkill on Thursday, June 20th.
Okay.
June 20th, Thursday, headlining Magnanini Winery. That's an awesome place, actually.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Well, now my thing about David. Now I watch a lot of David videos on the Instagrams, and
On the Instagrams?
he comes with he has a sound effect.
Yeah.
Like does that happen in real life too? Like that would be.
David,
You know him better than I do. Does he like sometimes a moment happens?
That
and it's
happens-
almost like the Law and Order kind of chime.
that happens in my head every time I see a Caribbean person.
Yeah, I picked that up just making content, making video. You got the
Yeah,
special
yeah.
effect, different apps.
How long are you making
Exactly.
content now? How many years are you making content?
2016.
You doing this for 8 years? You're making
wow.
content?
Yeah. That's when I
Wow.
tore my 2 quads and I got hurt and there was nothing else to do. I literally taught myself how to make videos by watching other people, investing in equipment when I got some money, bought cameras, mics.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I never asked you this.
Yeah. I learned. I ended up getting a Mac. That's where I do all of my editing, 99% of my editing. And you watch YouTube, and not that I'm an editor per se, but I learned how to do things.
Yeah.
And it's always good when I do like
Where
content.
did the chime come? Like, where did that?
From an app.
Okay.
You put it in a specific app, and like when you want to put emphasis, you put one of those. Boom.
Yeah.
It was a common thing. I mean, it still happens now, but
What's your most successful video, David? Tell them.
video.
I'm gonna guess it's with somebody else that might be a
What's your
slight
most
guy.
successful video? How many views do you have so far now on that video?
It's about 250,000.
That's not counting all of them, all right?
No, it's 250,000 on Facebook and 250,000 on Instagram, which is rare.
Wow.
Both of them got close to 250.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was weird, right? We made just like a random video.
Yeah.
And that does that. Then I thought we made funnier videos that get like 1,000 views.
You
It's
and-
you
and
can't
could
explain
never-
social media.
I was talking
hashtags
to I was talking
and
to
who
a friend.
reshares it.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was at this like meet and greet with these guys that understand the algorithm and kind of know how to like get the better of it. But these are the kind of people that you need to know and need to meet that can understand that. You know what I mean? Because it's a game.
Well, it was a racially kind of tinged video too,
No,
right?
not racially. It was more on the
Wasn't
Caribbean,
that the
Caribbean tip.
pulled over?
Yeah.
Do you remember how many people thought I was a real cop?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Which
he's
was
pulling
like,
you over.
even
Yeah.
real cops, I heard. So I was like,
There was like Caribbean people getting on there like, man, don't even have a gun. That's not a real ticket he holder. And I'm chiming in there fighting with him like, can you realize it's a fake video?
I think what did that? What
We
did
have
that?
resting cop face,
Yeah.
right? Along with the
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my friend actually, that I grew up with in Barbados, that's actually my best friend growing up. He is a cop. And he actually told me, he's like, yo, you got this big cop friend, you got a real cop this time. He said that? Yes. Because you look like a
man,
cop.
look at I'm blushing. Right
Yeah,
now.
man.
But,
Honorary, uh,
but it's a, for any video
had the
that
cop
goes,
walk going. I
yeah,
came up to
for any video that's successful and goes viral, is a couple of things. There's always some truth in comedy, right?
Yes.
So this was a thing where you would say you're from any other Caribbean country, and people would say, "Oh, Jamaica." That was a thing. That was a thing that used to exist. Like not in necessarily New York City anymore. You can still get it certain parts of the country or maybe on the West Coast because it's not known. It's not as familiar with Caribbean culture. But here, you make an own stand. Hey, listen, I'm not Jamaican. I'm from Barbados. Da 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 bam bam bam.
Yeah.
Or the whole
You
bunch of
understand.
not all, but a whole bunch of Jamaicans in the comments was like, them think they're better than Jamaicans. You should have shut them out. You didn't get a ticket, idiot.
You know why we have a lot in common, right? Because he's from a small Caribbean country
Right.
that's lesser known.
Right.
So he gets all the time probably Jamaica, right? That's what people here know. It's like, geography isn't the strong suit of every American person.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I'm from Slovakia. I literally used to come up to people and they'd be like, what is that, like some kind of Polak or what are you, like Russian? Is that like a part of No idea. No idea it's another country.
Yeah.
So we're both just like, that's
Oh,
the
my
whole
friend
point of a lot
Alex
of the videos, the jokes behind it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do one. Okay, we'll do it. I don't want to give it away. We'll do it. Yeah, we're gonna give it. We'll do it.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
try it.
you
We'll
gotta
try
keep
it.
that,
We'll try it.
under
We'll try it.
wraps.
We'll
What
try it.
about you
We'll
with
try
the
it.
social media? You don't do like videos and stuff like
He
that?
just said Instagrams. What do you think?
He did? He said Instagrams?
I
You're
said
like,
Instagrams, yes.
you sounded like, you reminded me of my mom just now. I thought about it. She'd be like,
Or your sister-in-law.
Alex,
You guys are older than me. What are you talking about?
you don't want to do the marijuanas. And stay away from the gays. She would I'm just saying what she said. She's
from the
deceased
gays.
now. She's Eastern European. She would have been 80 years old. Come on.
Rest in peace, Mom.
Surprise, surprise.
Rest in peace, Mom.
Yeah.
But Alex, have you stayed away from the gays?
I have.
Okay. Mommy's boy.
Want to know what my mom said one time? I'll tell you a true story. I can't believe I'm saying this on the. When I was like graduating high school, we had like these white flowers or something, and she sat next to me and she goes, "Alex, I hope you're pure like these flowers." I was like, "Whoa!" She's trying to hint to me like, "Stay a virgin,
Yeah.
don't go crazy, don't bring in the hookers, nothing like that."
And she was totally wrong, man.
Oh yeah.
Or she was totally right.
Oh no.
Yeah.
10 hookers.
Changing subject.
Yeah, changing. Moving on. Alex and I, we got into discussion via text because I can use my voice, so we were texting. I'm not anybody that knows me knows I'm not a texter. All right.
I know from
So
like
he
an
lost his
hour and a
voice.
half long
Yeah.
phone conversation.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had.
Oh, really?
I'm not a texter.
Yeah.
But I had to text and back and forth. So we were talking about comedians and comedy and favorite. What are some of your favorites? Or do you believe in like favorite comedians or top 5 or whatever?
I mean, I don't really have a top, 5 or whatever, but
Good, go top
some of my
five.
all right.
Go
George
top five.
Carlin.
George Carlin.
George
Never-
Carlin's my favorite
You
of
like
all time.
Carlin?
Really?
I
Yeah.
love Carlin.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, I never seen one of his specials or more than 5 minutes of his material.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's some people, it's beyond, I don't know, it's like there's certain comics that are well known that you haven't seen, right? There has
Oh
to
yeah. Oh, definitely.
be. Yeah, people would say the same thing.
Because you know what it is hosting these mics. Like, if I come home, people are like, "Oh, did you see this Netflix special? This one, that one." And I'm like, I'm already listening to like 18 people tonight. I don't want to go home and
got you.
listen to more.
I got you.
So
You
sometimes
don't
that
watch pro
happens.
comedy? You don't watch
No,
too
I
much?
do, but I just like
Not
you
as
know,
much.
yeah. I think I watched the Tom Brady roast was the last thing I watched.
Yeah.
Nikki
The roast.
Glazer was top.
Yeah, she was
for
great.
that. Tony Hitchcock.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But
But the
she
thing,
was killer.
some of the people didn't get it as bad because they weren't up there the whole time,
Right,
which I
right,
thought was kind of like unfair.
Yeah, it was kind of long.
Yeah.
And
It was
that's
like
a lot of
3+
people.
hours.
3
It was
hours.
Way
They
too
went
long.
them
for
way
a
too
roast.
long. The athletes
Yeah.
went way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a 40th B-Day roast. I had people come and roast me, so that was
Okay.
fun.
Really?
Yeah. Did you guys ever get like officially roasted?
No.
That's an idea for a show.
We roasted each other.
Yeah, like roast. I had roast battles. We did one roast battle. My first show ever was a roast battle 6 years ago.
First show.
And the second time
Your
I ever
first
did,
show was a roast
my
battle.
first time I ever got booked for something was a roast battle.
Wow.
The second time I've ever done a roast battle was against him 2 months ago.
That was my first.
They're not popular. One club, one open mic, Olives used to do one every week.
Okay.
At the end of the open mic, if you get up, you do a quick 1 minute, like a one joke roast battle, like a one joke tournament.
Okay.
You know, but like there's no, I don't know.
No,
They're
not
okay.
as much glory in it in a way.
There's not that much glory. They're not as. They're fun to do. It's better for the crowd. The crowd has fun because every joke gets the crowd going. But for the comedian, you want to be able to do a material, not just like 5
And you
minute
go home
jokes.
crying.
But you said Carlin. Who else?
So right now, Bill Burr's probably my favorite.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I love Cat Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just said that because you're a black guy. He wouldn't- just tell me the truth.
No, dude, I love
Wink-
Cat
wink
Williams.
with this
man.
eye if
He's
it's
like-
mostly white guys.
You can't curse on here, so I wouldn't say
Wink
some of
with
this
this eye,
stuff.
it's really all 5 white guys.
No,
He
Cat
just,
Williams.
I told him, name one black.
Chappelle,
He just so
yeah.
David's happy.
Dave Chappelle,
he's just saying it because he doesn't know
Sebastian
Cat Williams.
Maniscalco.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah,
body
yeah,
language.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Not bad, not
Patton
bad.
Oswalt. Yeah.
Patton Oswalt. Oh, really? I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
considered an alt comic. You know that? He's
yes?
considered one of the leaders of the alt comedy movement. Him and the dude who played in that TV show Glow on Netflix. What's that guy's name? You know that other? He's considered.
The wrestling one? Or?
Yeah, you see, he's the other alt comic. I don't even know what that means, alt comedy. But
Yeah, I
that's,
don't either. That's why I was just
I-
whatever.
I think-
you label this and label that. You know.
I think.
Are you funny or not?
Right. I think what happens today is a lot of these labels get created, so you have it's kind of like a safe space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like leaning into a specific agenda or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's funny, I laugh. If it's not funny, it's not funny. Like for me, I don't know. We talk about the top 5. We actually talk about top.
We got
5,
into a
10.
back and forth argument about who. Like I'd be like, what
Wasn't
was the
really
argument?
it wasn't
How did-
really an argument. I was just pushing his buttons a little
I know,
bit. I was
I know.
just pushing his buttons and watching him react.
I was. What
hilarious.
started that whole thing? What started?
Oh, you know what started it? I sent him a clip from Richard Pryor.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
And I
that's
said
another
one of the greatest.
He
One of
responded.
the
He,
greatest.
of course, he
Yeah.
responded.
And he
one of
goes, "Not the greatest?"
And I goes,
That's what he
"What? Not the greatest?"
And I said, top
Why?
3.
And he go, I was like, I go, "Who's better?" And he went, "Louis, Burr, and Chappelle." And I was like, and I like laughing emojis all across.
I mean,
And he was like, "Right, we make."
So you were
that's a
instigating?
tough thing because Pryor came first. I mean,
I'm
it's
gonna
a
make
totally
you an
different
honorary
generation.
Eastern European
Yeah,
right now.
I'm a Caribbean. You know that's what Caribbean people do, right?
Do the same thing. Eastern
What are you
Europeans.
talking about? But here's the thing. Comedy, and then he went back to the original point that I made that comedy is subjective, and he kept trying to put that in, and I ignored it.
You totally
And he
just.
was-
I'm texting him and he's ignoring
And it was-
all my. I'm making valid points and David's just ignoring
Ignored
me.
it, and I
So you
thought,
were just
you guys are
trolling.
like
of course.
So you're
I mean,
just a
hello.
You're
troll.
an
Duh.
old married couple here,
Duh.
man.
Fucking trolling me.
because then he then he went, Well, of course, surprise, surprise. Obviously, the comics that I find funny is the comics that look like me, but that's just like you. The comics, your favorite comics will be black, and I was like, well, that's not necessarily true.
No, that's not true.
I was like, why is that? And I go, why? And he goes, well, he started typing. And he said, let's save it for the podcast.
I mean, I asked the guy one time, I was like, Biggie or Pac, right? And he goes, Biggie's nice, but Tupac saved my life. Like, and it's just what really hits you,
Right,
So
right.
Carlin for me,
Yeah.
I grew up listening, like that was just how I grew
That's
up,
what you listened to.
So for me, that made the most impact.
And when you put on the spot, because I don't have like a top 10 ready to recite or whatever.
Yeah.
Like for me, one of my favorite comics right now is Godfrey.
Yeah.
Love Godfrey.
Yeah.
With his impersonations and accents,
Yeah.
impressions, and different type of stuff. And he says, especially coming from Chicago, he was like him, Dion Cole, and these other guys. Nobody sounded like each other. Everybody had an individual voice, which is what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know whenever I go, especially up here, nobody sounds like me. Nobody says what I say, which is, you know what I mean?
Except Graham Friel when you do the Irish accent. There's a little.
He is great with that Irish.
No, but not just Irish. He's Northern Irish. He's Northern
So
Irish.
to the audience listening, that's a comic that showed up at the open mic that still comes, right?
Yes,
He got
he's
his-
great.
He's like a picture like an old guy in like a motorcycle outfit. He's got the
Yeah.
helmet on. He rides his motorcycle. Is he Scottish or Irish?
He's Irish. Northern
He's
Irish.
Irish.
Northern Ireland.
I gotta go like this. You ever have to squint? I squint. I'm like trying to pick up his words. I'm like, I think I heard something.
you need to work on your Scottish.
But you can always get like arse or
Because
Yeah.
like
his curse words are very understandable.
like every other place, even including like Barbados, 166 square miles. You sent me a video the other day, right? Mm-hmm. That guy's from the north. His accent is different from mine. I don't know if he would notice that. He probably wouldn't. But the way how he pronounces words, you can tell that he's not from the area that I'm from because it's different.
Very regional specific accents. Dude.
Yeah.
I
But
couldn't tell the difference between
tell.
Jamaican and Barbados.
I know you can tell.
Regional Barbados.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can tell.
No way, man.
Yeah. Just like I can't tell that you were born in Serbia or wherever you come from.
Wow.
Wherever you come.
Wow.
I see what he's doing.
But
here.
AKA Big Slap. So I call him Big Slap. That covers everything, including Mother Russia.
We have regional accents where I'm from. And,
Of course.
And let me tell you something right now. Where I'm from in Slovakia is like considered the most like trashy accent. Like the southern of that country.
I could see that.
You know, you could. All right, that went nowhere. Let's move on.
Wait, I got
turn
an
it to Alex
episode
Bassett,
idea for the show here. I think you need to take this on the road and you need to take Alex to Barbados.
Yeah. No, we believe it or not.
Huh? What do you think about that?
So I did a comedy. There used to be an open mic pre-COVID that gave you 7 minutes in Brooklyn, and they did it every single day. They did that open mic every day, and then it's no longer. It was a Nigerian bar, and I went there and I killed for 7 minutes. I did great, and Nigerian people loved me. You know who didn't want to listen and who were giving me like, they didn't like the jokes. White people. There was like 7 white comics, and they were standing there. And my opening joke was, I was like a door. You did your open mic by the door, and I was like, hey guys, so I'm standing by the door because at least as slow as I am for a white guy, I'm going to make it out of here if I say something offensive. I'm close enough to the door. Speed, get it? I made a joke about track runners. You know? And they were like, ooh. And then I did like one other joke, and they were laughing, the Nigerian crowd, and then the white people were just like, I think they were just too embarrassed. It was just like, you know.
Yes.
You take Alex to Barbados, he kills at the mic, and you don't. Is that what?
Listen, it's comedy.
And vice versa.
It's
he takes you to Russia or wherever he's from.
He kills, I bomb in front of my own people.
But that's comedy though. That's
is.
comedy. That's
That
comedy.
is, yeah.
And I'll be honest with you.
5 minutes.
Thank you, Five. I did a show back in Barbados in 2022. Shout out, big up my boy Dave Brown, right? The RH man. Look him up. Anyway, he had a show, a comedian from Barbados, and he had a show there, and I did 20 minutes off the top, right? And I was going and going and going. People were sitting there like, and all of a sudden, my throat and mouth got so dry. My lips were sticking to my teeth, all right? And they were like, I seen the looks, because you notice people. This one guy, Rasta dude, is on the corner like,
Oh no.
So do you feel like you're
Right.
bombing in front of your family when you're doing it? It's something about it, right?
you know that bit I do, that Scottish bit I do.
Yeah, that brought him back.
Yes.
That got him.
That got him.
Are you
So
going back
I
over?
finished with that, And the same guy looked at me like this when I was done. He was like, So, to Dave Brown's credit, he's like, yo, you didn't bomb. Even though people sent him, like, I remember that this one person saying, he's like, the show was good. He's like, the guy that did the accents, he was like a little bit nervous, but he was good. He had like good accent work. He reminds me of Trevor Noah, but he just seemed like he needed to relax some more. So what I needed,
the nervous energy comes through. Yeah.
What I needed, because I was dealing with some stuff right before the show as well, because we had just had a fire. So everything I wasn't 100% focused. But my boy was like, listen, you need to, even though you're Bajan, you're from here, you grew up here, you got to do something to like ingratiate the audience. So I went back old school, something that we all know from primary school. So the next show, because we did 3 shows back to back weeks. So the next show, I had them from start, boom.
Yeah.
Then the third show, we destroyed the place.
That's a beautiful thing, man. That's the whole craft of this, man.
Yes, it is. So the third show, when I was done, they were like, yo, encore. Encore, we destroyed the place.
You know what got my biggest ooh from the 7 white hipsters in that show? Is it with the Nigerian bar? There was a guy in the front, and I said, are you that guy who keeps sending me those emails about like 500 million crowns? And you're the Nigerian prince? Are you him? So they erupted. And the white guys
It's funny. You still
racist.
You haven't said that your favorite comedians.
My favorite comedians?
Yeah.
Most influence for me was the influence me getting into comedy was Louis C.K., Bill Burr,
White,
and Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle though was he Chinese? He's black. Dave Chappelle and. Honorary mention for 6th would be Godfrey, though.
Yeah. Also,
he's the most underrated.
Yeah, he
comedian.
is. And I'm talking about comedian.
Yeah.
You forget Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence is funny as shit.
Kevin Hart.
Oh my God.
Mildly funny. Anyway, he doesn't like when you say Kevin Hart.
No. I think people shitting on Kevin Hart, talking about he's mildly funny from doing all that stuff. And then I asked him, what did I ask you with that? If you think Kevin Hart is mildly, I know you're only joking. What's her name? What's the name?
Who?
The comedian chick. Got accused of
no
stealing.
female comics mentioned. You can't even remember the one female.
I'm going to put on my list.
Amy Schumer.
I'm going to put on my list Jessica Pearson.
Okay, yeah.
She's on my list. And if you don't know, me and Murph saw her live.
She is. I'll put on my list some more.
Hysterical.
I have 2 ladies, very funny ladies, on my
more.
next showcase.
That's right. Yeah. So let's do. We got like a minute and a half, right?
Yeah.
We got.
So Josh Kincaid will be headlining. He's opened, I believe, for Nick DiPaolo and like some serious names here.
Josh Kincaid is a friend.
Yep.
Very
funny.
I started at Lucy's with him. Yeah.
Nice.
He was already doing it for like 2-3 years. He's great. He's doing it like 10 years.
Yeah.
She's great.
Very funny dude, man.
Hilarious guy.
So that's what I wanted to have like a guarantee. Anybody could bomb or whatever, but like generally.
All right, go ahead.
Yep, Debbie Baza and Cara More. I have myself, obviously. I'll be performing. Shoot, I don't want to forget somebody right now. I don't have the paper.
You could use the fold. You could use the flyer.
Oh yeah, here's the flyer. There we go. Sweet.
I know that nobody's going to be paid, but with tips, they'll actually walk away with some money. Unlike a sold-out show.
He's not letting it go.
Unless like a sold-out show in a neighboring state to New York.
I'm clipping this
in a rich neighborhood. And you somehow don't make any money. Tell us about that again.
Yes. Possibly Cara More, myself, Tim Deery, Troy Bynum, Glenn Miller, a.k.a. Satan's Comic, Johnny Figaro, Debbie Baza, and Josh Kincaid will be making boatloads of money.
What's your handle?
My handle is @Mummies on Main Street, spelled out fully.
Yes. Tell a friend to listen to the Velvet Sugar podcast, guys. All right?
Yes, follow us.
Velvet Sugar on YouTube. It's easy now. It's searchable. You can even Google us. We'll pop up. Guaranteed.
Exactly. At Big Alex Comedy.
At Black Rock Dave. This has been episode number 10 of the Velvet Sugar podcast. Our first guest, man. Give it up for Tim Deery.
Right.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.